What's up, Trios Tribe? We got. Sorry. Oh man, we're messing this up. We always mess up these intros. Anyway, what's up, Trios Tribe? We got the top 16 from this past weekend. Play TCG had a June online regional. It was a lot of fun. I got to commentate it with Digipanda. So we got to do 8 rounds, 256 players. It was a ball of a time. Like, we had a ton of fun. We got to watch, we got to stream it, we got to commentate, we got to do all the things. But more importantly, the players performed, and we got a top 16 to kind of go through here, right? Notable things is Royal Knights making a huge representation, but Megidra nowhere to be seen. Sakuya, some Megidra. We'll talk about we'll actually talk about some of the Megidra stuff, but like dominantly Megidra, not anymore. Megidra is seeing its way out of the meta, it appears. Only one Sakuya also being one of the top decks in the format. And we have a return of Purple Hybrid, which is really interesting. And Purple Hybrid actually takes the whole thing here. Mako Killer, Miami homie taking the whole class that day. It was actually kind of cool. We actually had a big as you guys know, every Monday, every Thursday, we host the Eagles Nest webcam tournament, and we had a couple big showcases for that. We had Mako Killer plays in Eagles Nest almost every week, every day, and then here running at the top in AJ also in the top 5 with Royal Knights, actually taking it with Royal Knights. Also participates in Miami, but also participates in Eagles Nest all the time, along with Mon Fusion, like probably one of the most dedicated Eagles Nest players in my eyes. Also rounding out the top 16. So if there's a place to be and play to get good, you guys should be trying Eagles Nest. And then maybe that's a shameless plug, but we gotta sell seats. But seriously speaking, Royal Knights looking out to be now the new top. Like, it's such an evolving meta, and unfortunately, this is, I believe, the last regional for the BT21 meta. But let's go into the card by cards of everything. Let's talk about it. I'm glad Adventure did well, and we can talk about that. But let's just talk about a ton of stuff here. Let's start off. We got Mon Fusions, Gallantmon, X-List. Nothing too stand out, I feel like, right, in terms of the list. Like, interesting, and like the inclusion now of the promo Gallant for a little bit of healing. But beyond that, it just seems like I guess the notable thing is we are on the Takato variant instead of a Cool Boy variant, which, both decks kind of serve the same purpose, just kind of gives you texture and consistency in a different way, and they're not bad. I think both versions have their merits. I don't really feel like one is above the other, just because like Gallant isn't topping. So like realistically, one week it's this version of Gallant, and then the next week it's the Cool Boy version of Gallant. So you can't really you can't genuinely call one version of the better than the other unless like one is outshining completely, right? 2 of the when attacking antibodies will always be a wonderful part of the Takato version, because again, like the Takatos, both of them allow us to get that extra attack, allowing us to get a win attacking trigger with the inheritable, and then who knows what we digivolve into beyond that, right? The Blitz when digivolving, maybe we get to digivolve into a Gallantmon X antibody, and then from there we unsuspend, do a thing, who knows, and then end of turn we get to Takato swing with this guy, right? And that's another check, and then whoa, look, X antibody. I guess we don't get to, and then we don't get to end of turn. I guess we don't fully work. I talked myself out of it, but you guys get it. Like the win attacking triggers plus the Blitz plus this Takato also. There's just a lot that works, right? Fundamentally, and it's that's probably my preferred X antibody for the deck, but Protoform always has its merits. I think Protoform recycling any piece from your sources, Protoform also healing you one security really messes with like the damage numbers for a lot of matchups, maybe even Purple Hybrid, which end up winning. So who knows? We'll probably see a surge of Purple Hybrid, and then Gallant switches over to pro forms. Like, we are in an evolving meta all the time, and it's just a joy to be a part of, honestly. Like, I know, like, you can definitely have your argument that, like, the meta, like, the winning decks aren't fun to win with or play against, and that is a different conversation, but not really for this video. This video is to celebrate. Let's celebrate the people at the top here. And we got Dunham Zach at 15th, 6-2, playing the Sakuyamon. But we're playing Aegistramon here on our top end as the extra level 6. What did we cut for? We actually cut a Valder arm. So definitely going for, we're seeing the Maid mode, we're seeing the Kazuha modes, or Kazuyamon with the 4 Talmon aces. So definitely trying to play the more loop variant. As you see, Kaiser nailed, blue Renamon. Again, Aegistramon is also a blue source, technically. So that being said, you just have ways to get the Kazuha loop, maybe get an Aegistramon, maybe get a Ruin, maybe get a Valder. Really just like trim down on the level 7 top end to fit in things like the blue card that let us just more ways to just find a way to digivolve mid effect or get a Kaiser nail out. Playing the TK. The TK is actually interesting. I wonder why we're on the TK. Is it simply just to, and we're playing the old Rika? Oh, you know what? This is probably the new Rika, and I messed that up, so I will get that fixed for you guys. That being said, this is probably the 3-drop Rika. I'll after the video I will fix it on Eggman events for you guys. My bad. But yeah, I mean, otherwise a wonderful list, right? Like the age, like it's just the Talmon ace loop, right? So we've seen it before, especially with the Kaiser nail. You get to play this out and just continue digivolving over and over again, and just develop an insane board with just insane boss monsters, right? And it'll just always be interesting to watch. And it's around. I mean, Amber memory boost in place of yellow trainings, just because memory is the most important thing, not the. You don't really want to use trainings because they force you to digivolve, so it gets a little weird. So you opt to do these memory boosts so you can play with more memory on your turn and have that flexibility with your turn, where like trainings really do funnel you into a single line, and it's not the greatest for Sakuya when you're trying to go wide. Next up, we got, this will be 13th place, Sorlo, playing Magnamon Armor, but a really interesting version of it, I think. Playing Magnamon, playing the Mega Seadramon X Antibody. Sorry, jump cut. Playing the Mega Seadramon X Antibody so you can't get redirected on your Magnamon X Antibody seems like a really strong card. Combined with things like scrambles, mental trainings, and just Davis memory. Oh, even the return of Shuyu Lin is an interesting include. Gena's House is definitely something we've been seeing. Be the plus 3k, allowing our Magnamon X to just baseline have more than 17k, or yeah, 17k more DP, so we can clear the Oryukenmon's DP premium DP removal. So kind of nuts there, or just kind of important, right? Being able to survive that start of turn position, if you can do that as the Magnamon X Antibody, you start having a really good time into Royal Knights, which clearly was a dominant deck going into the tournament. Let's see if I can get a name for you guys. Yeah, this was Sorlo. But yeah, other than that, not a crazy a lot to talk about. One Flame Dramon, because it does help proc Magnamon X, and plus just being able to send security to hand, then checking it sometimes can be great. Lydramon is great. Piercing, suspend a body, and then being able to attack into it with a plus 2k is never awful. Starter deck Magnamon, probably the best one, and favoring the removal Magnamon over just buffing ourselves DP wise. I mean, removal's probably king in most scenarios, so it makes sense to me. Medieval Gallantmon, just a great floodgate, and then actually you can blast ace into GX with medieval, or even paladin mode, funny enough. Which is a pretty cool synergy there going into our top end, and even at Omnimon X Antibody. So like all our level 7s are relevant with this medieval, which I don't think is something that's said enough, right? Just like finding like the way the deck was constructed in all the connections, right? Like this is a wonderful connection with this medieval, and I think that should be praised, right? And then again, also with Magnamon X Anybody, it's a different color set, but all 3 of our 7s can digivolve on top of this Magnamon X Anybody, which I think is really cool. That being said, Blinding Ray. Just 1x anybody, because sometimes, hey man, you just win attack. Maybe you win attacking with this Mega Seadramon and you just go, right? Genai's House. Again, we already talked about Shu Yulin. Scramble Mental Training. Promo Davis with Original Davis. Not a bad setup here. Let's talk about a fun deck. I think a deck that caught a lot of people by surprise. We got it listed as Sakuyamon because we had to give it a boss monster. However, this is DRC Drek. 11th place. I'm gonna call it Green Gacha for the video. But yeah, no, it was funny because I was always fun. We never got to show this on stream, but I was hearing about the Green Gacha player kind of taking names and taking it on, man. 11th place, also 6 and 2. We had a lot of 6 and 2s this tournament to make it to the top 16. And yeah, I mean, it was just like, this is it, right? Look at this searching engine. I mean, this is 8, 11, 12, 13, just hard play and search, and then, like, that's not even including Ukomons. You're playing 1 Floodgate just for, I guess, Royal Knights or Sakuya is probably the matchup you're most worried about by playing this Floodgate, even though Floodgates kind of don't do anything in Sakuya. Maybe it's mostly Royal Knights, I don't know. Just a 1 Floodgate because we can. 1 Kuwagam. The main line is, I imagine you start with Uko, play a boost, just search out the piece. Hopefully your next, and probably win with that next stack with this Sakuyamon, and just go. It does digivolve for 1. This is the good old BT21 one, but if you get to that level 6 cheaply, which I guess who does it pretty cheaply, it's definitely these Gacha guys with the BT7 Tortomon that lets you put a card to the top of the deck. Oh wow, look at that. Magnamon, Jagamon instantly set up into some powerful level 6s, getting the unsuspends when digivolving. Yeah, suspend 1 Digimon, then unsuspend 1 Digimon, so you to unsuspend, gain 3k. Sakuyamon Ace is available to you, and then Chaosmon X. I would love to know what we really used this for. Is it just to raid into a problem? Because, and then have immunity off of the back of this? This is probably my most curious, like, why this Chaosmon? Like, the extra attack is nice. I guess to attack into problematic bodies while you have, like, Zafaga protection? Interesting. I don't know what else to say. Maybe I don't think I have the wrong card. I remember strictly putting this myself in, and I think this is, yeah, no, I would love to know what the logic with this Chaosmon is. At least that's what was listed on the site. Maybe I have it wrong, but I don't feel like I do. And then the collection of Shotos, both Shotos. Oh my goodness, never mind. I just got there. When one of your Digimon, when any of your Digimon attack your opponent's Digimon. So you're playing the starter deck Shoto that lets you redirect an attack that's focused at a Digimon. So this Chaosdramon can get redirected into life for a pseudo blitz for... Oh, that is cute. That is cool. I didn't... My bad. My bad. That's cool. That's awesome. We got there, chat. What a busted combo, and so many boosts. We're just playing every green boost. That way, like, we're like agility training can get to this one and still find all our stuff. Like, this is Jade boost just to have another boost, right? It's really what it is. Just searching our pieces and getting there. And you even have the ability to go into Metal Kabuteri for an extra attack if you really need it, because he does digivolve into any tamer for 2, which busted. That being said, let's go. Congrats, Green Gacha Dark. That's 11th place. Here we can go move on to our Domini player. We had a Domini make it all the way to 6th place, 7-1. Kopo. It's Domini, it's Vaccine. Definitely going for kind of like a high roll situation. I always feel like this Gatomon is such a high roll card for the deck, but if you see it, man, holy, does you're like, you think Patamon into this is insane. Patamon into this card is probably the most ridiculous play. Being able to gain the memory off of Patamon, Digivolve into a champion that's supposed to be for 3 for free, and then you go into Magnamon for 1, and then everything off of there. But beyond that, you're just seeing the good vaccine stuff, right? You're seeing the Salamon, the Luxmon, the Kudamon, kind of a mainstay for the bottom end here for vaccine and angels and of the like, right? This Patamon is a hit or miss, but does get relevant, does see play, right? Angemon is like kind of mandatory for the deck, honestly. This card does way more than people think, for sure. Beyond that, Angelwomon, interesting, we choose to play the Adventure Magnamon instead of the classical Magna Angemon Ace that we've seen for a long time. But I mean, Alliance, like unfiltered Alliance can go along, or untrait locked Alliance, I don't know how else to say that, but just like Alliance in this deck, you go wide enough to, especially if like you're looking into a Valderarm, suddenly your Valderarm's doing 3 checks, Jesus Christ. And this is the first competitive success, at least in the North American scene, or even the Western scene, of Razielmon. Razielmon being one of the LM cards that we got as a box topper for BT21. Was it 21? Were we getting these? I think so. Security to on play, probably not the thing we're going to see the most often, but when Digivolve, Sec +1, base. When Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers until the end of the turn. One of their Digimons can't activate when Digivolving effects or unsuspend. Kind of sick. On deletion, place this card at the bottom of security. So it's a random heal. It's a random like when Digivolving floodgate on a single Digimon, and or a Tamer for hybrids, right? Like purple hybrid also, again, doing well. The flexibility of this card is pretty interesting, and I mean, at 2 copies, they really put stock into this card for sure. And then I imagine the on deletion being able to heal is also something crazy. And then the return of Emissary of Hope. I feel like we haven't seen people use Emissary of Hope in a long time, and here it is at a topping deck at 3 copies. This card has always been good. I'm still like, I guess like with the loss of this TK, like things just weren't consistent enough. Like we didn't have enough. Maybe people felt like we didn't have enough TKs to really justify Emissary. But oftentimes, like with Angelwomon, you're allowed to just lose security and just gain it back. Like you don't. The secondary part isn't always that necessary, I feel. However, that's being said, no, congrats. Definitely love to see a new deck break into the top 16, even though it's like an oldie but a goodie, but like it's not always up there. So Domini exists, and it is I don't think people really respect this deck enough. I feel like it would top more if more people played it, and that could just be me, like YouTuber, streamer coping, who knows. But that being said, let's talk about, we got a lot of Royal Knights to talk about. I think we had 5 in the top 8. So let's go ahead and talk about, our first Royal Knights. 10th place, Nanook. Royal Knights is definitely like kind of like a really it's hard to talk about Royal Knights anymore. We've seen it so much. Get to I'm tripping over my words, I'm sorry. We get to talk about just the little things. Oh, there's like a weird black bar at the top. Can I fix that? Oh no, I'm sorry, I wish that wasn't there. Oh, whatever. But there's always mainstays in the deck, right? 4, 4, 4, 4, 3. I remember in one of my earlier videos of like reporting on Royal Knight success that a lot of people were like, wow, that's so many Omnimons, one in the world. And I'm like, I thought this was kind of normal, and turns out it is kind of normal. So I don't know, times have changed. Our collection of level 7s here is always something fun that aren't the Omnimons. Only one Crimson, two Oryukin, one Justmon Ace. So really not a lot of Ace potential, which was always one of the scariest things about Royal Knights. So it's interesting that this list, Nanook chose to kind of step away from that. One of each of the Omnimons, Alphamons, BT13 and BT20, for just their different ways of interacting with the board. Actually trying to have Leopardmon so we can play our Omnimons a turn cheaper off of just like some purge shenanigans. Justmon GX, 2 Genkus, 2 Lord Knights, 2 Dynast, 4 Magnamons, and then only 2 of the BT13 Omeka. This guy sees play in and out of the deck, so I'm not too shocked. That being said, congrats, Nanook, on your 10th place finish. Then 9th place, Royal Knights Manson, also on the Leopardmon, 2 Lord Knight Omeka, but instead having the other version of Gatsu in Pomamon, just for fun. Sistermon Blanc makes its debut in today's list, and Justmon Gallant promo Gallant, 3 Genkumons favoring 1 more Ace than our previous players. Same amount of the white here, except we actually have the 2 of the Tai Kamiya and Matashita from BT5 that give your Omnimons +1 security. And this guy is just honestly, like, there are times where I feel like this card is disgusting. If your opponent has a level 6 or higher, you get 2 memory at the start of your turn, and then all of your Digimon with Omnimon gain 2 security. This guy is just 4 security sometimes. That's insane. And it could be 6 security if you have both of these time. It is a lot of damage out of nowhere. So I'm not surprised that someone running this has seen success with it. It is an amazing card to put in this deck if you play it correctly. Cutting down on one of the Magnamons, Medieval Gallant as well. And then after that, 2 Oryukin, 2 Jess, 1 Crimson Mode. Just the Man and Tide really standing out in this list in terms of differences, right? And then like everything else is like up to the I want to say, was it the opposite of user error, but dealer's choice. Less Omeka, Sister, Pomu, like you guys get it. Let's talk about the 3rd Royal Knights we got to speak on. This one will be 8th place, 6 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Peter playing the Blanc, playing less Omeka BT13, playing 3 Magnamon, and then we got more Justmons on the docket. Medieval Gallant, two of the secret rare Gallantmons, and none of the promo. And then again, let's just wrap this up so you guys know, 1-1-1, but playing a lot of Crimson Blaze. That's where a lot of this like rookie top end or this Omeka early top end from the other lists have gone. Like no Pomu, no Gatsu. We have the Sistermon Block, we have less Omekas and even less Magnamons, but that is all going into this Crimson Blaze, as well as having the Crimson Mode Ace or Yukin Ace numbers up. No, you're seeing no Dynast, no Leopard like we saw in the previous list. So just a lot of trimming decisions, really consolidating our level 6s to just the red ones. So we could always potentially Ace is an interesting way to go about the deck. And then Marcus for even more, playing the new Marcus actually, but one of your Digimon gains piercing and plus 3k for the turn. Like that's got to be good, especially I guess our only real guy here is, but you never know where that piercing could come up. And also I feel like this is just a lot of people used to run the BT13 Marcus as a floodgate removal, but this is one less, still gets rid of any floodgate we're worried about, but there's like flexibility in it. It's not a memory setter, but you do gain 1 memory at the start of your turn, which oftentimes that's all you need, and you have the potential to outshine a memory setter with this, which is I think something that goes underrated. When I don't think Royal Knights is a deck anymore that needs to be set to 3 every turn. Maybe that's a weird take. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But either way, the Marcus being cheaper I think is more important overall. Giving your opponent less memory when you're trying to get rid of the floodgate definitely stands out as something idyllic. Then we get to talk about the next Royal Knights. We get to talk about Chicken Biscuits, 7th place, also 6-1-1. So all our Royal Knights here kind of have the similar record, except for Nanook at 6-2. All right, but at 611, Chicken Biscuit, also the return of Leopard, no BT13 Omega, a lot of Gatsu, no Sistermons, Dynasmon, full Magnamon, BT13, 1 Medieval, double Alpha pairing, no Promo Gallant, 2 Secret Rare Gallant, 2 Genku, 2 Crimson Mode Aces, no Jesmon GX is an interesting decision, along with the, it's really just a mainstay, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Every deck has run this at this point. I don't think any deck is moving away from it. And then 1 single Crimson Blaze. Congrats, Chicken Biscuit, on 7th place, breaking into the top 8. What a great success. I'm happy for you. Yeah, no, let's talk about the best performing Royal Knights. A friend of mine, Miami scene, Eagles Nest competitor, AJ. Congrats, homie. I don't know what else to say. 7-1. Actually, kind of being an in-between of all these lists. And actually, I guess the biggest thing here is we are on 3 Secret Rare Gallants. No promo. Playing each of our aces. That's definitely a divergence of everyone. And also on this this Alphamon. 1-1 Alphamon pairing seems to be doing really well. And we're also on 2 Medieval. So we are definitely on something different here, right? Again, here, same, let's get this out of the way. 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. Everyone's been doing this. This is just, I don't think anyone's changed this, but interesting enough, we see the increase in slight uptick in the ace, actually having the Jesmon ace, Gallant, but still no Leopard, no Sistermons, no real Floodgate removal, but playing our own Floodgate is interesting. Medieval Gallant as well as here. And then I think the theory sometimes is that if you can get this Gallantmon in your source with Purge of the Royal Knights, he is your Floodgate removal. So if you can play a little bit more of him, maybe consistently see Royal Knights, most of the time your opponent's not going to be able to play Floodgates against you anyway. So I like the deck theory there. It makes a lot of sense to me. And then the increase in ace play here and Gallantmon in general. So it makes a lot of sense to me. Congrats. 5th place Royal Knights, best performing Royal Knights, and one of the first of our 7-1s. Domini being the 7-1 below this Royal Knights player. We got McNuggets. We got, I believe this is, this will be 12th place, 6-2. Vinny 03's McNuggets list. This is a list that's getting a lot more attention too. It's using the Phoenixmon top end. We're talking Garuda X, Phoenixmon, Phoenix X primarily, with the inclusion, then the introduction to the competitive environment of the EX1 Garuda when attacking this Digimon. When this Digimon attacks a player, you get to gain one, which, hello, Blitz. Protoform Blitz into this guy is disgusting. Grav Crush, but then really just emphasizing all of our on deletions from the Bimigidra bottom engine. Phoenixmon, for those uninitiated, your turn, well, you have Phoenixmon or X anybody in this Digivolutions, attach end of attack to all of this Digimon's on deletion effects, which is so stupid. And you get this on deletion as well that lets you play a level 11k or lower red Digimon, which it's got some conditions in there, but busted. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as the Digimon this effect played. So insane. You get to sometimes you play this Phoenixmon, which is also something stupid that it does. Medieval Gallant, Promo Gallant to really round out how many attacks we can get and removal in a turn. But then we're triggering gain of memory, play a Gyo, trash a security stack, play another thing. This gets so gross, so fast. And we're using the red GG to round it all out because we can win attacking, draw one sometimes in the early game to get some of our just get the draw engine we need together here. But no, congrats Vinny on a really cool list. I don't really need to go. I don't feel like I need to go by the card by card. I think the success speaks for itself. 3 Graph Crush, 3 Protoforms, 3 Cool Boys, 3 members. I think the option area is probably the most dynamic here and interesting. Is probably what people should be taking of. Everything else kind of speaks for itself. 3 Geos can go up to 4, could go down to 2. And 4 X antibody. The one of Growl also stands out, just in case sometimes you probably just sometimes are on a Growlmon X antibody and your opponent just kind of plays into it, or like you can even just play this guy, get rid of floodgates. I think he's one of the best floodgate removal cards in the game right now. Plays for 5 but gains some of that memory back and just gets bigger and bigger the wider your opponent is in a smaller board state. It's just good. It's just good. But let's talk about our higher performing Phoenixmon, 4th place, 7-1 Crim. Taking a slightly different take. We're definitely seeing some all the same here, but changing it up for the level 5s, granting ourselves a new on deletions by playing the BT21 Garudamon along with the new Garudamon Adventure Garudamon, allowing us to have inheritable alliance is nice, and getting an extra a security attack just baseline. Really powerful. You could potentially have a Phoenixmon swinging, or even a Gallantmon X antibody apparently. Swinging for a ton of damage. Only putting 1 Graph Crush is interesting, because oftentimes I think a lot of people can agree right now that Gravity Crush, oh, put it a 1. This deck didn't even need it. So maybe Growl X does need to go too. Who knows? Bandai loves hitting their level 4, so maybe we actually do end up seeing that. Collection of trainings, offense trainings. So Sora, did the previous deck have Sora at all? The previous deck didn't have Sora at all. Interesting. But I imagine because we're not on things like the egg, we don't need Sora as much, so it makes sense that we only have it at 1. Cool Boy finds us pretty much all of our most important X antibody cards, because it is what it is. And I just love the the next inclusion of Gallantmon, just having it because we can. I mean, I imagine there's worlds where you play your Gallantmon promo to delete your Phoenixmon, attach Protoform at some point, go win Digivolving X antibody after you swung with this thing, heal 1, whatever have you, and then Gallantmon X antibody to do even more shenanigans, Omnimon X to do even more shenanigans. Like the combo potential, this deck prints so much memory, guys. Like I cannot underestimate how powerful turning all the on deletions into end of attack abilities. It is disgusting. So congrats, Crim, on your success. 4th place. Then we get to talk about an adventure list. We saw 2 adventure lists during the stream go pretty far undefeated wise. However, only one of them was able to break into the top 16 at the end of the day. This is Genos 160's adventure list. And if you go card by card, you'll notice that it's really close ratio wise to the Hong. The Hong list from a couple weeks ago that did win that entire, I think was it Texas, or it was Texas, I believe. It won the entire Texas event. Like, we're seeing the hallmarks of his list here, as in 3 Mega Kabuteris, 2 of every other level 5 minus things like the no Angelwomons was big, no Warware Garurumons, no Garudamons, having 2 set of all the other ones. 3 Mega Kabu, only 1 of the Wargrey, which I think is again a hallmark of the Hong list, along with the Gato. Only playing 1 Gato here. Actually don't know where that 1 slot went for them. I think maybe potentially it went into an extra rookie. Otherwise, I don't actually know where they took that one, the 1 Gato, because I think Hong was playing 2 of this Gato, or was it only 1? I can't remember. Maybe I'm making it up. But this is pretty much Hong's list. Which, that's not, like, I don't say that in like a discreditory way. I advocate for people to just take winning deck lists and play them themselves. That is perfectly fine. Like, people don't own deck lists, you know what I mean? And it's okay. Like, if something won, you should be allowed to say to yourself, if that person won with that list, surely I can do that too. And if you have confidence in your ability, yeah, like, it makes sense. So, like, I'm not trying to in any way trying to discredit the idea that, like, oh yeah, I just don't like that thinking. You're allowed to play whatever you want. He played a successful list. and got success with that. Imagine that. 2 Taikamiya, 3 Metashita, 3 Jokito. It makes sense to match. I probably said this even for the Hong list. It makes sense to pair up these two in terms of ratios, because if you do prefer the matte, you need to be able to back it up for the 4 colors, and the most like numerically consistent way to do that is with the Jokito and Mimi Tachikawa. So no, it's adventure. I love to see success with it. I hope to see more success with it going into EX9 format. I've been playing it, and it's been so much fun to be able to do some of the things I've been able to do with those decks. But either way, congrats Genos on 3rd place. And then we get to talk about Purple Hybrid. No, oh, no. Oh, this is, sorry, this is 2nd place, 7-1, Boy Wonder. Taking, I believe, we're calling it Growl Loop, because I first came into notice of this list when Tessero was playing it here at on the Eagle's Nest webcam tournament series. They took this list and it just loops Growlmons and Guillaumons like nobody's business. Like, you are able to do so much damage in a single turn, remove bodies, remove floodgates, attack, piercing, and just do so much. Promo Gallant, Secret Gallant, like there are so many ways this deck finds hidden attacks. I believe this player was on record also saying that they were greatly inspired by Tessero, so I even made sure to ask Tessero what they named the list. It is Gallantmon Growl Loop. That's what we're going with. It is an interesting piece. It's an interesting creation. I wonder if Tessero has made their own video, or you can check out Tessero's stream to like really have an in-depth analysis, or watch some Eagle's Nest to really see the deck in action. It's a great list, and they saw wonderful success with its 2nd place, for truly proving that like this deck has a place in the meta. And yeah, no, if you guys want to take this deck for a spin yourself, please do. I can't really speak on too much, but like things like this Growlmon inheritable are disgustingly good, especially with the Arrestermon. You wouldn't expect it, but suddenly this Arrestermon having 4 checks in a single turn, stupid. It's just stupid. Promo Gallant deleting, it's just so many. There's so many like synergistic ball things happening here, and it's a sight to behold when you see it in action. So definitely check some content out for this deck if you get a chance. But either way, congrats Boy Wonder. Let's talk about our 2 purple hybrids. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. We have Shane at 14th place, 6-2. We have Duskmon, Velker, 1 Kaiser, 2 Gazi, 2 Psychmon, 2 Gabu, 1 Uko, 4 Ukomon. Just good stuff, right? This is probably the core of most purple hybrid decks. The introduction here, we saw, at least I saw it first in Eagle's Nest, featuring Soy Marcos. Playing Arrestermon Superior mode definitely added a lot of aggression in the deck, along with Promo Gallant, gave you a way to either heal. These two combined actually did so much for the deck to recover from the ban list. I don't think people really give that enough credit. Having a consistent level 5 that can hit 13k, so you can Gallantmon yourself and activate a Promo Gallant yourself is insane. From here, we can talk about Emergency Program Shutdown, which is a really funny include here to your opponent can't use option cards until the end of the turn. Just shut down. So if you're afraid of Sakuya, this is a great way to do it, right? Busted even. It's just so good. I think this card is slept on in I think it to be fair, you need to have a way to get white on the board, so it's a struggle, but if you can get it consistently, it is a really good card into certain decks. 100%. Calling from Darkness, Jack Raid at 1, playing our 1-ups because they're good, 3 purple member boosts, 4 Rivals Barrage, and then we got a collection of Tamers. Not playing the Keenan, but playing the Violet and Boots is definitely something we've seen swapped around in an interesting way to do. Digimon Emperor Lu, 2 Matashita, and yeah, that wraps it up. Playing a total of 7 Koichis for the list. It makes a lot of sense to me. Let's talk about our champion, Mako Killer. again, like I said, Eagle's Nest, Entrepreneur, Eagle's Nest. Just went back to back at Eagle's Nest. Just took the Saturday tournament and then took the Monday tournament at Eagles right after. Purple Hybrid playing work, performing well. The deck can struggle to find its level 4 sometimes, and it can brick. But let's talk about some of the interesting includes they had. Pretty much here, like I said, these 8 cards kind of tend to be a mainstay for the deck. But only playing 1 Secret Rare Gallant, 1 Argomon for, sometimes just locking down Tamers can win you the game in some matchups. Like, we're thinking, like, sometimes just locking down those schoolboys can work. Other purple hybrids, maybe some blue hybrid that may be lingering, as well as Sakuyamon, locking down the Sakuyamon Rikas could do a lot. We're talking Adventure, Crossheart, Hunters. There's a lot of Tamer decks out there. This Argomon just does a wonder against those, right? Playing our one-ofs, calling Jack Raid, 4 purple member boost, 4 Rivals Barrage, but then like we definitely changed it up here on the Tamer section with these 3 cards in particular. Playing the Mimi Tachagawa to just either tax our opponent on playing options or just making some of our option plays a little cheaper. Like Jack Raid and gain 1 extra memory, or Calling from Darkness for free, purple memory boost for 2. Like, this Mimi's got so many applications, and it's just sometimes a Tamer for 2 is really good. Like, we've seen it's been a mainstay for a while in purple in hybrid decks to just like have a 2-cost Tamer to just maybe just be cost effective. Blue hybrid used to even run the starter deck mat for that very reason, right? We used to see starter deck tie, starter deck 1 tie in places just for things like this. So it makes sense. And like this Keenan Crier won the whole tournament for the purple hybrid. It was disgusting. It was so oh man, I don't want to discredit anybody, but it was so that was painful to watch the Keenan Crier just win the game single-handedly. Check out the stream event, see it. It was a hype of a time. Definitely the MVP of that match was this Keenan Crier, just taking it, allowing purple hybrid to take it over Royal Knights was nasty. So anyway, congrats Mako Killer, friend of mine. Shout outs to him. Shout outs to Mun. Like, for the ones that I missed, I feel like I didn't talk about Mun Fusion, but congrats Mun Fusion, Eagles Nest local. Congrats AJ, congrats Mako Killer. Special shout outs to those guys because I personally talk to them from time to time, and then just plugging Eagles Nest while we can. If you guys want to play with champions, play at Eagles Nest. I don't know, maybe that's a tagline, maybe that's a new thing. Anyway, take a breath, like, share, subscribe. See you guys for the next one.